Like I could cry that I'm fat instead of eating chocolate and try cheer myself up.
Magda Wajs, a Polish woman who moved to Ireland in 2006, met and married a Polish man, but since divorced. Magda has completely transformed her life and herself over the past 2 years and has dropped from 150 kg to 77 kg on the weighing scales, a loss of 11 stone and 7 pounds. She's here today to tell her story and to help others. Welcome to GK Media Studios, Magda, and thank you for joining me on Garry Talks.
You have to get this click in your head. Doesn't matter how many people will tell you, hey, do something with your life. You need to change that and that. Till you actually realize yourself, I need help. I need to change my lifestyle. I don't like the way I look, the way I feel.
So what did you do that made the big difference this time that actually worked?
I think when I see this picture of me, I was like, oh my God.
This is a GK Media podcast.
This podcast is part of the GK Media Studios Creators Network, helping people tell their stories. Become a storyteller today and learn about our podcaster network at gkmediastudios.com.
It's great to see you.
It's great to see you, especially that we know each other for a good couple of years, didn't really stay in touch. Lots of changes in both our life, I say.
Yeah.
You grow up as well as a business, which is good to see.
Yeah.
You're doing well.
Thank you. I'm probably the worst friend anyone could have because I'm just not
stay in touch.
I'm just so bad at staying in touch. Even my best friend, who I've known for over 40 years, we grew up from each other. He would constantly ask me to come out. And
you do realize you need to be careful with that because I removed so many people from my life recently as well since I change my life, because to stay in touch, to stay friends zone, I think the both sides need to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I shouldn't judge people that quick, but if you invite someone or text someone one time, second time, third time, and then you leave that on hold and you're not hearing anything back from this person, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You don't want me in your life, I'm gone.
Yeah, yeah. But in my defense, I'm going to Vegas with them next month. So
Okay.
So we've known each other
Good few years.
I think it's probably going back to maybe 2013 or so.
It could be 11 years actually, yeah.
And you moved to Ireland about 17 years ago.
2006, yeah.
And you met?
I came in and at my first job, I met my future ex-husband now, rather. We've been together for 5-6 years before we decided to get married. And that's how we met, because just before we was getting married, we joined this fitness guru away that time. And so we went for the classes and then we got married. But I think for two of us...
And you were big into fitness back then, you were doing Tough Mudder and all these competitions going on around the country.
I have to say I did enjoy, back then I did lost some weight as well. I wasn't as big as I was before now, all the changes. But I was really into it. I enjoy doing exercise. I enjoy do the group exercises and then the events that we went for it. And it's been always for a charity as well. It was always for a great cause. And I think it's important. Give what you can to help someone else.
So fitness was important,
I think it was on and off.
Or was it something that you were fighting?
I think it was on and off. I think fitness itself, it was always easy part for me. I always struggle more with the food.
Because you liked your chocolate?
I like I think I'm between sweets and crisps and takeaways. And then once you're falling into that, it's just easier to order takeaway, not think that you have to cook, not think about what you're putting in your mouth, what you're putting in your body. And I know that myself now. It's very hard to notice when you start gaining the weight.
Yeah, absolutely. It creeps up in you.
Yeah.
So you moved to Ireland in your early 20s.
Baby.
Yeah. And you met Radha here. You got married.
Yeah.
And you were both doing the fitness classes together, and life was as normal as would be for anyone in their 20s. And you at one stage were 130 kilos. Is that right?
That was before we got married. Yeah, that was 120 something, close to 130 probably that time. So that was 2013, as we think, just before we got married. And that was the time when we both joined the classes, because I say to him, listen, I really don't want to go and get married in the state that I am for now. And he was
so was it when you moved to Ireland that the weight started creeping up on you?
Oh, yeah. Like when I came into Ireland, 2006, I was probably around 80, 85 kg. Like, I think I was always a bit chubby or a bigger kid, even in Poland. When I'm thinking now, like, I was always tall, so I was always a bit bigger. But mostly my family member, they struggle with the weight. So I know you can get that from your parents or whatsoever, but I'm the living proof as well that you can fight against that.
Yeah.
If you focus a bit and just open.
So if you went from 85 to, and I'm not trying to be all mathematical with
that would
everyone
be probably like...
But like that's 45 kilos that kind of creeped up over
7
6.
years.
Yeah. What was that? Were you homesick? Were you just enjoying Irish life too much?
To be honest, I never thought about it back then.
Okay.
I think it was pretty much everything. When you come over here, like, you know, the house over in Poland, like, we never struggled with the money, but we never was like this rich family. And there was some limitation for me as a child. And because I was always a bit bigger, I always heard, oh, just maybe you should skip this piece of cake or whatsoever. And then think when I came over here and I become independent, hey, I was on my own. There was no one to slap my hand when I was reaching for the cake. I just kind of let myself go. And I think it's really hard to see when is that slipping out of your control and just happened. And I think this part of it, like I noticed that because being in a few new relationship, I think it's when you jump into new relationship and you're happy and you're going out for dates and you do the fun stuff and you let yourself the comfort food of being happiness as well. You know, like you popping into the guy house or he popping into you, you're watching movie, you're having Chris, you're having some snacks. And then, you know, you don't want to spend the time like cooking. So you go takeaways, you do that stuff fun. And I think some people eat when they happy. Some people eat when they sad. I definitely was emotional eater. I went like I could cry that I'm fat and still eating chocolate and try like, you know, cheer myself up. You have to understand the relationship with the food cannot be go through your emotion. But lots of people probably do that. Lots of people, as I say, you happy? Yeah, let's get the ice cream. You sad? Hey, cheer yourself up with a slice of pizza.
Yeah. And they say that that can even happen to people as a child, whereas if the child is upset, a parent might go, look, here's a sweet. You know, they try and console them or change their mood by giving them a treat. So it's kind of built into you before you even realize.
Yeah. And then I think as well, like when as a child, you've been told, hey, you shouldn't have that because like, you know, you have a bit weight. When I got my independence, when I got my, like, you know, came over here to Ireland and like no one was there. There was no soldier as my parents.
Yeah.
I just like, hey, I can do the stuff that like, I've been always like saying, don't do it. You feel adult, I think, more. I don't know. I can't even.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, I can't even like say it. I think it was a mix of everything in my case. And you kind of getting into the point when one time you wake up and you see yourself how big you become and you're like, okay, let's try it. So you did it. So you're doing this random diet that you found on the internet. You do that. Oh, let's try that. Let's try that. I think I did every diet before. I swear to God, like I did this, what is it called? Like the Herbalife shake?
Oh, yes,
like
yes. I did them, yeah.
It's not work long term.
No, and you're starving. You have 2 shakes a day, one for breakfast, one for lunch.
And the shake's actually not tasty at all. The powdery. Yeah. No. I probably
Did you ever do ketosis? The ketogenic diet? Where it's all fat and protein?
I tried that before as well, yeah.
Because I know a woman who did that before, and she, like, it completely transformed her life. She lost loads of weight. She was all about it. And she couldn't sustain it. I think she sustained it for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, which is impressive in itself. And then all the weight returned and more.
But I think mostly diet, they always exclude some of the product. Like, don't eat rice, don't eat carbs, don't eat that, don't eat that. Long term, it won't work. Because if you don't have, like, if you don't deliver some food, like, I think when you have a craving, it's better to have a small square of chocolate. It's better to have it when you want it than wait for another week or month and then eat the whole block of the chocolate.
Yeah.
It's always going to happen if you like some food and you won't have it. But I only learned that recently. Before I was like, hey.
Yeah, and I suppose the idea of the conversation as well and helping others is there's so much noise there on the internet, and there's so many people popping up on Instagram, telling you that they have the solution to your problem, and so on, and you're sucked into it. And you've gone through the mill, you've done all the diets, you've lost weight, you've put on weight, you've lost it again, you've put it on.
And it's always extra pounds coming after you finish your diet. Like, you can lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds. And then you do this diet, which for me, diet is like, okay, I'm eating whatever I've been told to eat for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatsoever. And then you're like, okay, I have my goal weight reach. I can come back to whatever. And then how you're gaining the weight. And it's always nearly double that you're gaining.
Like you were saying to me, you now hate the word diet.
I hate it. Like, I literally think it's not the word that should be, like, it should be deleted by, like, from dictionary, because I think it's work on your brain, something for a short time. When you want to, like, change your life and, like, stick to the new healthy habits, you need to think long term. You need to think, okay, I need to know what's good for my body. I need to go, like, let's bring that into the car. You buy diesel and you just put diesel into your car. But then, hey, I'm shit mode. I'm going to put petrol into my car. You're going to destroy the car.
Yeah.
And it's the same putting really bad food into your own body. And, like, that's the only one that we have for life.
True.
We should definitely look after. And I think, like, there's lots of people all over the world obese or even overweight. And it's all started from the small choices, from the small changes that you're doing. But first thing, as I say to you before, you have to get this click in your head. Doesn't matter how many people will tell you, hey, do something with your life. You need to change that and that. Till you actually realize yourself, I need help. I need to change my lifestyle. I don't like the way I look, the way I feel. Because I think, like, being overweight, it's very affect your mental health as well.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that people don't talk about it. They think it's all about losing weight or gaining the weight. No. It's when you start think about it, it's always something in your head that trigger you to gain the weight. I don't think there's no reason, It could be your childhood trauma. It could be anything that just push you for it. And I think, mental health is very important part of. It's very connected with the losing or gaining weight.
Yeah.
And I don't think we talk about it enough, like, because people struggle with mental health because of the overweight. They ashamed to go out. They ashamed to be judged by the look. Sure, I remember when I was heavier and we used to go out in the restaurant. I don't even know now if that was true or not, but I could feel all the eyes from people sitting around, judging my plate. Oh, she shouldn't eat that. And it's work on your head. But then at the same time, you just enjoy food so much.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But you did it. You did it. So you got married to Radek and you're doing the training and stuff and you're getting ready and you're losing weight for your wedding.
Yeah.
So you went from 130 kg then to...
I think it was 95 or something like that when I was
Wow,
getting
that's
married.
brilliant.
And that was short-term period. That was only, I think I joined that time to this fitness classes. I think it was January, and our wedding was like the end of the April. So it was 4-month period that I literally dropped that.
Wow.
Yeah, that was very quick. But thinking back now, what I know now, I should know I will gain this weight back. I should know.
So when I got married, I was just over 100 kg and I got down to 82 kg in the space of 7 months.
Okay.
All right.
And you was proud.
Oh, delighted with myself. I would say 2 months after I got married, I had all that weight back on and more.
There you go. Like back there, joined to the fitness classes and followed the meal plan that I got it. I was literally strict on everything. I didn't have even chewing gum or like any like sweet or anything that wasn't on my meal planner. And I trained madly. I started from 3 training a day, but then closer to the wedding, the guy that I was training with, like he offered me a few extra sessions just to get me ready for my wedding. So I was training 5 to 6 times a week.
Wow.
I was highly motivated. I think once you actually...
Because you have that goal, you see, it works for a wedding, yeah.
Yeah, but after wedding, when we back from Poland, we got married in Poland. So once we back to Ireland, my husband that time, he dropped the classes. He stopped, like he lost his interest into it. And I don't think I like how he went from enjoying spending time together, doing the healthy stuff for us, back to our previous life. I was still cooking my healthy meal when he was ordering pizza, eating in front of me. He was still come back to rather go to the fitness class. He started playing PlayStation or whatsoever. And I think, I'm not saying you have to do it, but having no support, it's harder.
Yeah.
And hearing from someone, oh, why are you going into these classes? Like, you're fine, you don't need it. And like he back to his old routine very quick. I was still hanging on, but then start new job back then after I come back from Poland and kind of didn't have a time for a training, which it's probably excuse because you can work it from home, you can still eat healthy.
But it is the thing as well, and I wonder, can businesses and employers dig a little bit deeper when it comes to that? Because even I noticed for ourselves, we're not a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 job. Like the lads were out filming today to be on site at 7:30. Other times it could be to arrive at a place at 10:30. Like you can finish at 5. It could be 8 o'clock at night you finish. And it's not having that actual routine during the week that I even personally find myself. It's, where's the window where I try and squeeze in?
It's never a good time.
Exercise. No.
It could be hard to accommodate the exercise or even cooking the meal in your like daily routine, especially if you're saying like having 9 to 5 job. Yeah, that's fine. You kind of have the routine, but like people work from home. People, as you're saying, like your business as well. It's a bit like flexibility with the time and everything. Yeah. So it's hard. It's take a lot of self-motivation. Yeah. You have to...
And just plan ahead, I guess.
Yeah. But as you say, something happened. Like let's say Wednesday you're supposed to recording at 10, but some unexpected thing happened. And instead of 10, you're going at 12 or you have to be there for 8. So you was going kind of day before when you was like, okay, I don't need to start till 10. I will wake up in the morning. I'm going to go for my walk in the morning. I'm going to have my smoothie, scrambled eggs, healthy stuff. And then like 10 p.m., you get in text message that you need to change completely your whole day. And now you have to wake up at 7. Never mind, like I didn't have a kid. Can you imagine like do this cool run and then having 2 or 3 kids, this one going for a soccer, this one going for a dancing class. You literally feel that you have no time during the day, but healthy person give you longer life, give you happier life. And I think it's just the excuses. You just need to have a conversation with yourself. Hey, it's your own life. You have to look after, because if you keep it that, I'm pretty sure if I keep it like that, the 150 kg that I were before I started with the company back in Poland, if I live like that for another 2 or 3 years, I don't know how I was even able to move when I'm thinking now. Like how I never was, like, I'm not surprised that I was always tired. That it was like hard for me to, when I back to Poland for Christmas and my parents only live on the second floor. I don't have a stairs here in an apartment in Galway. And doing this 2-floor was intense for me. Like imagine yourself, like 2 small feet have to carry 150 kg.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think fitness for me, it was always up and down.
So this is you in your late 30s?
No.
Then gone up the stairs, struggling.
Yeah, 36. 35. 36. And I struggled to go 2 floors.
Wow.
So I think that's that time in Poland when I went for Christmas and spending time with the family for nearly 2 months, that was the time that I stayed there at home, gave me the realization of there has to be something changed now permanently, not go on a diet, stick for 6 months, everything will be fine, back into unhealthy habit.
So your marriage lasted 6 years?
Ish, yeah. I would say we've been together, I think, before we got married, 5 to 6, and then around 4 to 5. I can't even recall now.
And then you separated, and it was during COVID, then you tried to get divorced, which wasn't an easy process. It
wasn't the easiest, yeah. We got married over in Poland. So it was mostly, we could get through the divorce process over here, but I know it's more difficult here than over in Poland. So between we got split and we final divorce, I think it was like 1.5 years anyway. But we went apart on a good term.
Yeah.
I think we both was happy to ending this marriage. We went from point we more housemate. I don't know what happened on the way, to be honest. I think our priorities changed. Me not having kids was probably one of the reasons. I know my ex-husband always wanted to, and not sure if he was hoping for me to change or not, but I believe that could be one of the reasons. And I think we went more to the friend zone, housemate zone, rather than lovers, which I think to keep your relationship happy, the romance has to still...
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just like living with a person that you know.
Can you say that again to every woman out there for us lads?
Just make sure you go on a date.
We're like,
guys,
please, come on.
No, it's just, I think, doesn't matter. What I learn now with my new partner, doesn't matter if you together for a month, year, or 10 years. It is important to sit every week and talk. You need to have the conversation about your feelings. Hey, how was your week? Like, you know, we both are very busy with your week going. Like, you have a work, your wife have a work, it's a kids, dropping them to school, it's always something. And I think if you not sit with your partner for like 30, 60, 90 minutes every week and talk about it, hey, how was your week? How you feel? How's your emotions and everything? You will lose it. And at the same time, just because, for you guys, just because you have this girl doesn't mean you don't need to invite her for a date. Because at the same time, like, I probably bring that from my home, and I'm coming back home, and first thing I do, I'm changing into sweatpants, some t-shirts. I'm not wearing makeup daily because I don't need to. And then you see each other daily in this kind of casual, like whatever. So it's nice for you to kind of dress up every so often, put a bit of makeup, put the effort, and like bring the romance back. Just like, you know, get yourself out of this daily routine and just keep ourselves, like, yourself happy. Like, I think happy parents are happy kids.
Yeah.
That's important. And I think it is important to.
It is. Like, I've had conversations with multiple men, so I don't want to put anyone in any awkward situation who knows me or has a conversation with me. And maybe it's something at our age, men in our 40s, but I'd say a lot of men I've spoken to, just having the conversation, there is very little kind of physical relationship that they have with their wife anymore. And it's kind of like, when everyone hears that, it's kind of, oh yeah, me too, me too, me too. And it kind of just, it becomes normalized. And personally speaking, I don't think it's the healthiest thing in a relationship.
No, I also learn pretty hard way, but I did get into the point when it's not even the man or the woman. I'm not blaming either of us, but I think we think the life that we're having, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I think 70% of the population, 70% of like relationship are very unhappy with each other because they don't talk. They don't talk about the expectation. They don't set any boundaries. They not talk about it. Hey, and like, I'm so sorry, Garry, but like you guys are not good with like guessing our thoughts, which we think we are, like you are.
No, we need to just be told.
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah, stop with the guessing. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. If you want him to bring you out for dinner, say, hey, honey, can you book 2 hours on Sunday? I would love you to bring me out for dinner. Just say it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming the guys at all. I think...
No, because I would say to my wife, I'd say, so what would you like for your birthday? And she goes,
I don't know.
I gave you loads of hints. I was like, when I was talking about this and that, I was like, oh, so that was you telling me. She goes, yeah, but why don't you just tell me? Because we're not tuned in at the same frequency at all. We need to be bluntly told. Okay.
My previous partner, my current partner, sorry, he showed me the video of the guy on the YouTube, and he talked about how his woman and man's brain work. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of save our relationship because it was very intense from the start. So a woman's brain have like 20 boxes in it, and they all connected. The man's brain have exactly the same 20 boxes.
Okay, I thought we'd have
but they're not connected.
Okay.
If you in a box talking about football, you want to jump into like, okay, football, and then you go, okay, after football, I need to go dinner, I need to go grocery shopping, I need to get the bedtime dinner, whatever. That's how woman brain will work. When you're in the box with the football, you will be only in the football.
Yeah.
And then once you close this box, you literally forget about it and you move to the next box. When we constantly have like our brain work around and we expect the guy to think the same, it's not.
No.
It won't
cannot multitask.
No. Oh, no. Never send the guy 2 text messages with a question. He will only answer one. You will never get the answer for the first question. You just need to understand the difference between.
True.
But yeah, that's kind of funny.
And I would have met you then when you were in a tanning / fitness studio. And again, you are involved in that whole fitness industry, was part of your daily life and so on.
Yes. That time, I think I really fell for powerlifting. And I was doing semi-personal session with one of the fella. And I was like, I think I always like gym, like strength workout more than cardio. I still hate it.
Yeah.
Like, it's no point for me to running. I don't get that how people go for a run for fun, because I'm like, I can walk, but like, why would I
want
run?
to get there faster, I'll drive.
I'm happy with lifting anything that I can, but no, cardio is. But I think that's another hint. Like,
and it seems to me that the relationships you were in wasn't having a major effect on your personal challenge with body weight.
No. I think it was just comfort of me, like grabbing the food that I like, grabbing the food that I enjoy, being lazy. I'm not gonna lie, like being lazy, it's part of it. It's easier to go grab some frozen meal or grab a takeaway, do a quick solution, just shuffle the thing into your mouth, rather than actually think about what is a good nutrition for your body.
So then you were over in Poland for Christmas.
Yeah. So that's
and you saw a photo of yourself.
Yes. So we went for Christmas and we had a lovely family New Year's Eve that we spent together. And I remember my cousin that time, she sent the picture the following morning from the party. And I was like, who is that? Like, I think it was the first time. I blame also all social media. When we take a picture of ourselves, we always put filters. We always like do the good angle.
Yeah. Just put the phone really high up. Yeah.
So we all look like, good. And then someone take a picture from side of you, and I'm like,
oh, the side shots are horrible, aren't
I
they?
still have that. I remember I had that in my phone for ages. And I was like, I look massive. I think it was first time that I did realize how big I become. Like, I never noticed that I went from buying size clothes, whatever, 16, 18, and then it was like 18 to 20, and it was like 20 to 22. I ended up having jeans to size 26, which now probably will be like a parachute on me.
Yeah, like now you're what?
I'm 10 to 12.
Wow. Because like when I knew you, like you're tall, right?
Yeah.
But like I always just knew you as Magda, so I didn't, me weren't defined by body shape or weight or anything like that. But to see you now, having not seen you physically in person for the last few years, like you look like a completely new person. I mean, you look amazing.
Thank you. Very nice to hear.
You look more confident than I've ever seen.
I hope I'm still the same person as I was.
You are.
All right.
You're a great listener, and you're definitely happier.
Yeah.
And that's inner happiness rather than anything externally.
Yeah.
So you got the photo, and some people come in as well, take photos here of me, and I think, oh, that's terrible.
I don't like it.
So what did you do that made the big difference this time that actually worked?
I think when I see this picture of me, I was like, oh my God. And I kind of have a flashback to all the times when my mom said to me like, oh, and I also like when I went to Poland, that was after a long break as well, because that was 2022 and that was after COVID. So I haven't been home for a while, because I remember that was the time when I haven't been home for a while. First, it was my parents wasn't really cop on well with my divorce. They couldn't understand how we can be friends, but we can be together. So I skip going home just to avoid this tough conversation. And then COVID started, so I wasn't able to go. And then I went for this Christmas, and I think like I see how is my auntie, my cousin, my parents look at me and they can't believe what happened to me. And I think it was like one of the auntie, I think she said something to me like, oh, what happened? Like, it's feel like one Magda left and two come back. And I was like, what the heck? I still didn't get it that time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, I think seeing this picture and having all flashback, all the information that people give me, but I haven't heard, or they was kind of afraid to say something, but I remember the look they gave it to me. And like I scroll to any of my social media and I like see the posts like some transformation, and I look it up and it was like the Polish guy who set it up, the dietitian and training center. So what get into me from them on them spot, like the commercial or whatever, it was, we gonna fit the diet into you, not you into the diet. And I was like, okay, something new, no one promised you that you can eat whatever you want and you still will lose the weight. No one saying to you, we will fit your meal into whatever you like to have it eat, not. I think for me, the diet, it was also, and with my previous experience, like you literally been given the meal plan that 20 other people was like, give it exactly the same. 20 people got exactly the same. We're not the same. I don't like rice, but I still got it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And in my brain, I was forced myself or been forced by the person that I was like, try lose the weight before, that is good for me and I should have it, even I don't like it. So with those guys, it was first time that ever, when I touched base with them, they told me, you need to start from like, do your test, do your blood check. We want to know if you have any medical condition that like, we should include into your diet, because now I know they work with lots of people who having a problem with the thyroid, who has the Hashimoto, who has like problem with the blood sugar or whatsoever, and they include that in the meals.
Okay. So
they really work around. Most of them, there are, I think it's called clinic dietitian. So they have a master's and degrees and what they're doing. So they know well what person with having like high blood sugar or low blood sugar should eat, should not.
So this is one of the big things, because first thing, this is the time now that you're not going online, seeing how a diet is, what you're restricting from it. You're actually going to someone who's customizing something specifically for what your body is able for and needs.
And listen, my needs as well, because I think it's important when you're on a diet and you get in the meal plan that you don't really happy with it, that you see this rice, chicken, lettuce, whatsoever, and it's like, I like pasta. Why I can't have a pasta? You know what I mean? And no one listened to you.
Yeah. Because I said to you at one stage, even, I said, because you were putting up photos of your journey over time, and I was like, I'd love to do it, but I couldn't give up the wine. And you're like, I'm still thinking. Yeah.
I'm still having. And the company that where I'm still with it, it's like they do 80-20 rules. 80% of your time, you should eat the right things, but you should allow. They even encourage you to do it, this 20%, when you let yourself enjoy. Because your brain, if you're doing 100% right all the time, you will burn out.
Yeah.
So you need to have the time when you want to enjoy yourself. You need to have a time when, hey, it's summertime, I want to ice cream, I want to have a barbecue. Nothing bad happen if you have this one meal. It's only one meal. And then back into your routine. So when they was customized my plan for the next 6 weeks, I have to do the medical test first, and then I have to sit down. And it was funny because all the question, like what food you like, what food you don't want to have include in your meal plan. And I was like, I don't know what I do like. It was like kind of, oh, I do like that. No, I don't know. Like, and you have to write down yourself. And it's made me realize how brainless I was with my food. Because I swear to God, I didn't know what I did and what I didn't like at that time.
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
And I got my first meal plan, and then I was like, I think 2 days later, I texted the person that was looking after me, and I was like, I don't think I like that. You know what I mean? And they're great. They're great with like do all the changes, adapt every changes that you need. Like you literally just text the fella and it's like, hey, I don't think I like avocado. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And it's like you getting this app on your phone, which is very handy with them. Okay. Like I wish they was on the on the English language market, because like I'm living here full time, and lots of my friends or work colleague or whatever, they was like impressed with the changes that I was made it. And then they was impressed when I scrolled them down through my application, and they was like, this is great. This is look like, you know, fantastic. I can see you eating pizza. I can see you out for like, you know, pint or two, and it's not big hassle, and you're losing the weight. You see the results. You're getting happy. But they only in Poland at the moment.
Yes, it's only a Polish company doing it.
Unfortunately, for now, yes. I know they do have a plans to expand for English market, but it's also not as easy because the food over in Poland and over here in Ireland, it is a bit different. Okay. You won't get the products that we use over in Poland over here. And it's also the eating habits. Let's be honest, like over here in Ireland, 70% people are get used to for takeaways.
Yeah.
Or having chips and something, or having spoots and meat, whatever. When over in Poland, we kind of, I think it's a like wider variation of the food.
Okay, yeah.
So it is probably hard, but I'm sure once you just work your brain and you can get any help from anyone, you'll be fine. You have to get the mindset right. You don't want to be on a diet. You just want to change your eating habits. Mm-hmm. You want to know what is good for your body, what is not. And if you start seeing the results, it just help you keep going, I think.
So, and again, I know everyone is different and has different needs, but can you give me an example of kind of what you eat during the week and what sort of treats you would have? Okay,
so like once I started, we've been talk about my lifestyle here as well. So I was working night shift that time. So that was obviously hard to adapt my food planning into it because my clock is completely...
Yeah, your body clock's all over the place and cortisol is high and all that.
So we have to figure it out. What's the best time for me to eat? How many meals I'm supposed to have? Do I prefer eating... It's great because they really listen to you. So I say I rather have few small meals than like 2 or 3 big one. So we decided to have like 3 main meals and 2 snacks from the start. And I don't think I ever changed that over 2 years. I know people are jumping from like cutting down to 4 meals or whatsoever. The most that they're looking for, it's the calorie intake. They searching for the calories, they adapt that into you, and they're like, okay, let's see what's there. So I had 5 meals, and I was like, okay, I'm working nights, and I'm there for like, night. That's normally my dinner time is like 1 o'clock overnight, but I never felt hungry at work. So I never have like big meal. So for me, it was like having snack. But that's what I, again, found very huge, massive help from the guy that was looking for me from Cuba. That was the guy that was like my dietitian, the person looking after me. He was like, okay, let's sit down and write down like what time you wake up, what time you go to sleep, what time is your break, and we're going to work around with the meals. So typical breakfast, let's say, okay, so I was working from 11 till 7 in the morning, and I was going back home, and I'm the person that needs to go sleep straight in. So never, like, I was literally come back home, either walk the dog or just like my partner walk him already so I could go straight into the bed. I never need much sleep. So I was always up between 12 and 2. Mm-hmm. And that time, that was my breakfast time. For me, breakfast was either scrambled egg and the bread. I fall in love for oats.
So scrambled eggs is good then?
They're good,
yeah. And oats are good.
Yeah, but depends the size portion, I say.
Okay.
And also, before I started with them, they asked me to do 2 weeks food diary. Literally put every single thing that I'm like eating during the day. And it's turned up I ate so much more than I thought. I'm like, why I'm gaining weight? I don't eat too much, but yeah, having like splash of oil rather than tablespoon oil, having, I don't know, like cookie here or there, or like you cutting sausage or something for breakfast, and then you eat half of it, but you think you only eat half with the scrambled egg when you really eat the full sausage. You know what I mean? You're snacking,
it's like you're snacking while you're preparing. Yeah.
And I was really focusing on that, but I realized how much I lied to myself about the amount of the food that I'm actually eating. I thought I'm gaining the weight from the air. Because it's like, I'm not eating that much. It's turned up I ate a lot.
Yeah.
The portion control, it was for me a big thing as well.
And is there anything that really opened your eyes as well, where it's like, oh my God, I was eating this and this is how bad it is?
No, because I think with the meal plan from them, I was still eating my favorite things, but change small things. Instead of like having cream, use yogurt. Tastes pretty much the same at the end, but it's a huge change with the calories intake.
Okay. How do you get away with drinking the wine?
80-20.
Okay, good.
Girls. And even like Kuba was saying to me, like, hey, the glass of wine won't kill you. Like, if that's something that your brain needed to have once every so often to keep going, just do it. And I think that's the gold rule as well. If you want to, like, I have a huge amount to lose. And I knew from the start it won't happen overnight. Let's be honest, I didn't gain this all weight over like 2 months. So when I had my first consultation, like, I've been told that they're really not looking for quick results, that like losing healthy weight, it's like between 0.5 kg to 1 kg weekly, which, like, it in my terms will be like long-term goals. What helped me definitely set up the every 3 months my goal weight and a success that I want to do. So I think it's easier than, I have a 70 kg to lose and it will take me like over a year. Hey, let's do it 5 kg or 6 kg till next time I'm going for a holiday or something. Setting up small goals in the short time, it's definitely better. And you have some deadline, and then you set it up the next one. I think for me, work better.
Yeah. And what about training then? Did you have to do a lot of physical workouts?
I've been told as well with my weight.
And when I say did you have to, I mean everything you started 2 years ago you're doing today.
Yes.
Yeah.
But back then on the consultation, I've been told that with my weight, having heavy exercise, it won't be good for me. And I also say that at this point, I was pretty ashamed to go to the gym. So I asked for workout from home. And from the start, it was literally slow exercise twice a week with the resistance band, with not putting any pressure or on my knees, on my joints. And that's how I think it's good, because people think, okay, you overweight, you need to go to the gym, running on the treadmill. You will like hurt yourself more probably than they will be beneficial. Like, so yeah, I started from, I think it was 2 times a week. Like, let's be honest, I was hard to move.
But that's mad considering, like, when I first met you, like, we were doing hardcore training in the gym. And again, just before COVID, you were doing your body lifting and everything like that. To go from all that intense exercise to just a resistance band at home.
Yeah, like
literally starting from scratch.
I think the funny part is that, like, even I was 150 kg and I was a big girl, I think I was still pretty active.
Yeah.
I think I was still like, you know how, like, if you think you're seeing 150 kg person, you see this person who's like wobbling from side to side. I was pretty active.
Yeah.
I was just heavy and big. But no, I think I always did enjoy the exercising. And I think that's what kind of helped me stay a bit more active, even on my heaviest time.
And then training wise now, 2 years later,
I become lazy recently, but especially like with me moving out from Galway, when, like, you know, I've been at the gym every day, and it wasn't because I have to, it was because I want to be there.
Okay.
Like, as I say, that I think fitness was always like important for me. The big part of, like, for me, I feel good go and like lift some stuff or even like walk at the gym. As I say, I'm not a running person.
Yeah.
But
it was the diet that kept pulling you back, wasn't it?
It was always the food, the bad relation with the food. I think as long as you not understand, it's your food, it's a fuel for your body, you will just throw anything.
Yeah.
And it is hard to change, but it's not impossible.
And what would you say to someone, you know, they've a friend or they've a loved one who is overweight? How do they broach that with someone?
You see, even I think people give me a hint or whatsoever, no one really sit down with me and say, listen, I'm worried about your health. I'm worried about not even the way you look, because, like, you know, your personality is great whatsoever. You don't want to hurt someone. It's all about this fat shaming those days as well, that people are afraid to say, hey, you put on a bit weight, you should do something with yourself or whatsoever. But I think it's actually important for the people closest to us, because the stranger will say something, oh my God, look at that fatty, like, you know. Oh my God, I actually remind myself, we went for just before I started, it was summer before we went to Poland for Christmas, and we went to Spain for a holiday. And the couple beside us was with the small daughter. I think she could be like 4 or 5. And they were actually turned up Polish. So they speak Polish, even they didn't know we will understand them. Yeah. And there was this little girl, and she said, oh, look at this tattoo on this girl. Like, they're so lovely, because I have a few tattoos all over me. And the dad was like, yeah, there is a lot of, like, you know, space to paint this picture on her. And I was like, what the heck? So I think when you hear that from,
because I thought the 5-year-old was going to say something silly.
No, it was
the actual adult.
Yeah, the dad. So I know the fat shaming is like a big thing. And I think when you hear that from completely stranger, you will get offended, you will be upset or whatever. But if someone who loves you, if someone who care about you, your health, will come and down, sit with you and tell you, listen, I think that was like a bit out of control now. Do you need any help? Is there any way I can help you? I think really people should start doing that, because I know myself, I haven't been aware how I look and how that may affect my health. So I think it's hard. It's hard to having this conversation.
Is it hard then, even when you're changing what you're eating, you're on that journey, that someone at home isn't on the same journey as you?
Like what? Depend your mind.
Because
think I was
before, when
really
you were still doing the
yeah.
fitness, after the marriage, you're still going training, you're still trying to eat healthy, and your husband had kind of parked that. Why did it work this time?
I don't know. I think like having this guy who like check on me every 2 weeks, and like the company that I was with it, I'm with it. They always want to educate you. They will explain you why you're doing that, and they want you to understand why is that way, not the other. Because you can be told, hey, can you just like, okay, this toy for a kid, the one like for the early years when they have the like square triangles.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have to put that in the right box. The kids may figure out them itself, but it will take them longer without the explanation. Hey, listen, this is the line. You need to find the same object to go in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I think once you don't really understand how it's like the food may affect your health, your body look, and everything in it, you're just gonna brainless eating. What they do, they really educate you. How is that may affect your future health? How is that may affect even like your mind? And as I say it just has to be the click.
Yeah.
I think you have to understand yourself. Hey, I do have an issue. I need help. And you need to say that to yourself. I want to change that. And probably because I try every single diet. Like I remember when I scrolled them and I saw them for the first time, and it's like, okay, one last go. Like, and I actually laugh. Like, there's some TV program like about this American like program when the people like, go for this doctor for the bariatric operation or whatsoever. And I remember I was like sitting watching that, and I was like, oh my God, that will be me. I need to have this operation because I will never be able to lose the weight.
This where they tie up your stomach?
Yeah, or something like that. And I was crying there because I see myself that time like fatty. And I was probably eating chocolate when I'm crying because that was like, hey, cheer yourself up. Yeah. And I remember I said that time, this is the last time I'm trying. It's for my life now. And like, I thought 36 years old, getting tired, climbing 2 floors of the stairs, how I will be in the next 2 years if I want to do any change. And if you think about it, 36 is still young.
Yeah.
It's only 36. You have another 36 years, hopefully, to live, which probably if I wouldn't make any changes, I don't know if I would like last up to like 50. Can you imagine? Like, and I think as well, once you like gaining the weight, it's like built it up over years. So I probably wouldn't stay at the 150. I probably will be 155 next year and then 160. And I will get into the point when I will be like hard to leave from the house. And that will scare me. And yeah.
Yeah, no, it is scary.
You need to willing to change. You need to have this willpower. And you need to say to yourself, hey, wake up, princess, because this is not working.
Yeah.
And I think, as I say before, like overweight, it's really affecting your mental health. You're ashamed to go out. You just don't want to have everyone look at you and like having this like disgusting look at you because you feel that.
Yeah.
And like, I know I hate now when someone made the joke like overweight person. And I really standing because I remember how I felt back then when I was heavy. I have a few friends which they are overweight and they always make a fun of them being overweight. I was the same. It's covering up your real feelings. And I always saying, hey, don't say that. Don't joke that way because it doesn't help you.
Yeah.
And I think just me knowing how you can feel at that time, I know it's not good. It brings you nowhere.
And the amazing transformation that you made, there's another chapter to that as well. So you went from 150 kg to 77 kg. You kind of pulled away from that meal planning guidance support that you were getting 9 months ago and still maintained.
Yeah.
So this is the important thing then. There hasn't been that rebound that we all get when we do these diets, these restrictive diets. But then
I actually lost 2 more kgs since I stopped with them.
You just keep making me feel worse.
No. I know where you're going to.
But then the next phase of it was you needed to. Is it plastic surgery?
Yeah. So let's be honest. Like losing half of your body weight will leave you with some of the excess of the skin, which I think I went into that a bit too quick. Because I see myself still. I think I started thinking about the surgery. It was like October last year. So that wasn't even 2 full year with the guys. And I was like, oh my God, like, this remind me all the big time. I don't want to see that. I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I need to hide that under the clothes. And then I become single. So I was like, hey, how I met someone with this.
So the excess skin you get, is it mostly around the abdomen? Yeah, the belly. And a bit probably on the legs.
My arms.
Okay.
My arms as well. And looking back then, I think I just probably think too quick about it. It wasn't a good time because I'm nearly full year since I start think about the surgery, and my body is completely changed as well. Like I went through surgery. I signed myself to surgery going to Turkey because on top of the good doctors, they do really have a good specialist, and they all over your Instagram, they all over your Facebook with all successful story. And let's be honest, cost less than half than over here. Unfortunately, I was in this percentage that got scammed over there. So went over there with my best friend who came from Poland to actually go with me for this surgery. Went over there. Some very dodgy guy kind of picked us up, but I was still okay. We went for this more even scary clinic for like doing the blood test and everything. And it's like 2 hours later, it's turned up, hey, you do have some infection or something like that. We cannot proceed the operation the next day as it's supposed to be happened. So we give you antibiotics for 3 days and then we're going to proceed with it. And I was like, oh, that's fine. Can you just tell me like, when should I reschedule my flight back? And they was like, oh, no, you will be fine back on like flight the same day as your original day. And for me, that was a red flag, the first red flag I got. So I think I traveled there on Friday, and Saturday morning, I supposed to have the surgery and I supposed to fly back on Friday.
Okay.
They told me they need to push the operation till Monday, but I still would be okay flying back on Friday. And I was like, that's 2 days different. How I will be okay with it? And then it was like random messages. I've been told, no, the infection is not gone. We give you extra lymphatic drainage. We give you something just to make sure you're fit to fly. And when I heard from them, we will make you fit to fly, I felt like, we're going to pack you into the plane, worry about yourself late after.
Yeah.
So at this point, I wasn't very comfortable to go ahead with trusting them.
And had you paid anything at this stage?
Unfortunately, yeah. There was deposit included in it, which I didn't even ask for them to get back, to be honest, because I know it will be pointless. And when we've been over there, we start scrolling through the
Google reviews.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened because I spent like 3 months searching the company that I wanted, the hospital that I want to go, and the doctor with it. And till the very 3-4 weeks before my surgery, there was not a single bad comment. And then they came out, which I didn't check back to the date, because when I was like closing to the operation and I was scrolling Facebook or Instagram, I was like, oh, maybe I should change my doctor because like this, I like this one. Because the first surgery that like I've been scheduled, it was breast lift and implant and tummy tuck. And I've been recommended that I need to have the second surgery for my upper thighs and my arms. Mm-hmm. Because they say it's too big to go with the one go, which kind of give me, hey, they looking after my health. But yeah, unfortunately, been a bit scammed with it. And I kind of, at the end of it, it was funny when I'm thinking about it now. And we say coming back a day for we will laugh from that a year after. I'm kind of laughing now because I was too afraid to text them that I'm quitting and I check out myself from the hotel till I actually was ready to be loaded in the plane. Because what if they come to the hotel and they won't let me go?
Yeah.
I was actually in my head. I know it's too many movie probably, but that way.
Yeah.
You completely different country. And like, I know there was people like different people saying there was like not the operation in Turkey wasn't successful. They like, different, you have to think they don't have the European standards.
Yeah.
And if you want to have it done, you better wait another year, save another money, then go with some.
So how much roughly was it to get surgery done in Turkey?
Okay, the package that I got, it was like, I'm scheduling for a 2 operation, 3 to 4 months apart between.
Yeah.
And the whole package was, I think, like 13,000 for everything.
Wow.
So I have to pay like, I think 8,000 for the first and then the balance for the second, which a boobs here cost you like 8 to 9 boobs only. And I'm talking 30,000 for everything.
Right.
So, that's what was it. And I actually got the recommendation for this clinic from the girl that I met online. And she was happy with the results. So that's what I think. I was in this percentage that unfortunately something went wrong. And lose a bit money, lose deposit, lose the money for the flights, lose the money for the changing the flight because I didn't want to stay the full week till like we literally just booked the flight back as quick as we can because I didn't feel safe to stay in this country for any longer. And I was like, I think the hardest part for me that time wasn't even the money. I didn't care. It was like
the disappointment of it not happening.
I think I was working so hard. And I think that's the final stage when I want to disclosure. I need this disclosure for like separate my old life from the new life. And back then I thought I will never feel good with myself till I will have it done. And it was like I prepare myself from like work, mentally, physically. I got my like, work sorted with my like sick leave and everything, blah, 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 blah. I was ready to go. And someone just like wiped my dream off. And I think that was the hardest part because I worked so hard on it. And some greedy person decides, okay, you won't get it. So the first month after I come back, I have to say, like, I won't say I was like depressed, but probably I was like, but it was hard for me to accept that someone lied to me that badly. Someone took my dreams away from me. My partner, he was the most supportive that he could on that time. And I think week after week, and that's the good things for you guys. I think you are our mirror because I didn't love myself as much as I love myself now just because of him. What I mean, like I look in the mirror and I see skin here, no boobs here or whatsoever. But every single day I hear how beautiful I am. And it's work. It's work because I look at myself a bit different. And it was hard. It was hard for me. But I also think, like, as I say, I kind of start, like, I think searching a bit too early. Because coming back now, which my weight is, like, a bit different. But my skin, like, if you think about it, a person who will lose 70 kg will probably have this hanging skin everywhere. I'm actually not too bad. The skin shrink, it needs a bit more time. It may need a few visits in the beauty studio. But with today's technology, you may get it done.
So you haven't gone for surgery since?
No. At the moment, I'm rethinking. I think I'm ready now just to start thinking again. And at this point, I know the only surgery I want to have it done, it's a boobs job. Because I won't fix it itself. It won't. And like, they're not small, but like, I want to feel good.
Because obviously when you lose weight, you lose everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
And I think my stomach, my legs, my arms, it's something still that I can cover up. I can wear the clothes that like it won't show. And even I think my skin very shrinks since I put very daily routine for like all this beauty treatment and all the products that may help your skin. And they work. I can see that. But unfortunately, I won't fix it my bulbs, which I'm not happy with it. And I'm always saying, everyone's saying like, who see me, you probably was the same, like, what she's talking about, what excess skin. Yeah, like you can hide it. And I always say, I feel good the way I look now, but I want to feel the same good standing naked and looking at the mirror. And for today, for me, it's the bulbs that I probably will have to get it done. And I'm thinking to get it done now, probably here, because it's just like knowing now as well, the aftercare is very important.
Yeah.
And there's no point to go to a different country. You rather save up more money and do it right. And you have a great aftercare. Someone here, if something happened with it, like you just drive 2 hours to Dublin or somewhere, you know what I mean? Like not like travel half of the Europe. So yeah, we was actually talk about it with my partner with it. And he was like, oh, like, I think if you're still in your head, you should do it. Even he's like, you don't need it. Like you are perfect the way you are. But he's thinking, if I still have it, if that's any of my insecurities, I should get that done. So as we say that like being happy or unhappy with gaining weight process is not as important. Like it wasn't as effective like for my case. But I can see how having supportive partner is now helped me adjust to all the changes with my body and with the whole life. Because you can lose this kg, but like you look in the mirror and you still see yourself much bigger than you are. I don't think your brain follow up so quick as your changes with your body.
But even years ago, I had that thing where I body shame myself looking in the mirror, you know, hating myself. And then 10 years later, it's like, oh, you were actually good back then. Now you're bad. You should have appreciated what you looked like 10 years ago.
It is kind of like that. But as I'm saying, it's like, I know I have a lot of weight to lose, but like even sometimes you drop like 10 kg. Had. Even if you have like 10 kg lost, I don't think I think you always the hardest on yourself. You won't see the change. You will be the last person that will see the change. And with this massive weight loss, as I had it, I think your brain really need the time to accept the changes, to, hey, you're actually okay now.
But you're seeing yourself every single day. So, you know, you don't really see the changes like someone who hasn't seen you in a couple of years.
Like even now, like I'm holding on the same weight now. Like I'm keeping the weight since January, you can say. I'm sitting between 76 to 78 kg, depends time of the month, as I'm saying.
Amazing. Look, Magda, it's been wonderful having you in the studio today.
Thank you.
Enjoy that moment that you walk around your house naked with your new boobs. Continued success with your journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And then like, if there's any message that I can send at the end, just like, you know, if you feel you want to change something, just do it. Don't wait another week, another month, another year, because you will gain another few pounds or whatever. Don't be afraid of changes. Like, since I notice I can change so much on my body, I notice my life don't have to be that bad either. Like, just risk. Nothing bad will happen. And even if something happens, just like stand up, dust yourself, keep going. If you won't try, you won't know.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Well done.